In a world of magic and mystery, one elf woman fights crime and the forces of evil in her own unconventional way. These are The Misadventures of Agnetha Deveaux. Episode 4, Righteous Retreat, written by Royce Pentaghast.
So, the Gordon Goodbrides are a fundamentalist megachurch.
I know of them, yes.
In the last 12 months or so, they opened their newest church and wellness retreat on the peak of Mount Liffey. Development on that goes back 5 years. Crazy to think it took them that long to build, when Josephinius set up their fortress here 200 years ago in less than 4 months, well, with magic.
Well, they did have to go through all this planning permission and heritage stuff. Building on the site of a historical temple. Plus, I guess underfloor heating takes a lot too.
Ooh, nice. Anyway, the last few months especially, there's been reports of people coming back from the retreat feeling sick, either physically or in the head. And the last few weeks have seen deaths from 2 recent visitors there.
It's definitely worth investigating.
It is in its own right, yeah. But with this demon I met, who's caused everything from the red fog to the crimson nutbag, promising to cause more havoc, sudden inexplicable poisonings at a religious retreat seems like it might be his doing.
And so we're taking the tour omnibus up there.
Easiest way up there.
And this here is another postcard, also from the base camp. The English people of the world are known to cook the best curry in the world. Nothing like the goop they serve you
God,
here.
she sounds full of herself.
She is full of herself.
And this here
She better
is
not
a
be like this all the way up,
postcard from base camp
or there
by
might be
Mount
another
Wild,
killing.
although I
Maybe
don't
keep your
know
voice
that
down?
well,
Good plan.
that's how
It's
it
best
is
not to
in
alert the
that
victim to
way.
their own assassination.
Well, this trip might be fortuitous. I heard a senior politician had travelled to the retreat a few days ago. If I can meet with him and explain what happened with my demotion, I might be able to get him on side and build a stronger case in getting my old job back.
That is extremely fortuitous.
Agnetha and Turmell clambered aboard the horse-drawn bus that set off on a path through and out of the city, past the farms to the south, and up the winding road to Mount Liffey. Their fellow passengers were a varied sort. Different ages, social status, religions, human and elf. The bright and sunny morning showed the vistas out of the windows at their very best. That distracted even Agnetha from the appearance of a shadowy individual. The demon, who had materialized by the roadside, watching as the bus trundled up the path.
Right on schedule. Now to see my hard work come to fruition.
The demon dematerialized, before then spluttering back into existence. Confused, he tried again, only to be thrown back more violently.
But he is once again preventing imagination from progressing. The effort to appear in this world is too much strain, and quick traversing a path I never walked, it seems, is not possible. Only traveling there myself will work. I need some transport befitting such a special occasion.
Waving his hand, the otherworldly man summoned into being a large luxury carriage drawn by 2 camels, lavishly decorated in complex primary-colored patterns. Climbing aboard and taking a cup of tea from a self-preparing pot, the demon set off behind the bus to watch the chaos he wrought unfold.
And here's a portrait of my daughter. I love her so much. I wouldn't be caught dead without her.
That's sweet. Where is she now?
I left her with my sister. Can't have a baby screaming down the church.
Have you ever noticed there's a weird mix of accents in Narrated?
Well, yeah, it's sort of a regional thing.
Right. Because, I mean, you've got some who talk like this, and there's a fair few of them about. And then you've got ones who talk like this. And then there are some who talk in an accent like this. I mean, we're all from the same place. If it were all from abroad, I could make sense of that.
Well, considering you are from abroad, I mean, you're doing a remarkable job. And I mean, Josephinian isn't even your first language, so that in itself is an accomplishment.
Ah, c'est vrai. Oui.
Oh, it's the bumpy road, dear. We need to go.
Sorry.
Driver, could we pull over for a toilet break, please?
Oh, no, it's...
We, it's religion.
Never mind.
Not that. That would be good to get on the stretch.
The carriage pulled over, and Agnetha, Turmell, and several others disembarked for a break. Agnetha reached into her pocket for a wrapped sandwich prepared for her by Charlotte that morning, as she and Turmell stood overlooking the city from the mountainside rest stop.
Looks kind of rubbish from up here, doesn't it?
Well, it's hardly Religion City.
What the heck is that?
Appearing next to them stood a large creature, a giant brown eagle the size of a horse, hunched forwards on its massive wings.
It's an emu. Is that an emu?
Agnetha, that's a Herodontics.
A what?
A Herodontics, be careful.
It looks like a feathered dragon. What the hell, you have these things in this country?
I heard they might be in the mountains, but not like this.
The giant bird stared them down with its furrowed yellow eyes.
I'm gonna throw it my sandwich. And then I'm gonna run. Back to the bus.
Careful. No sudden moves.
Agnetha threw the sandwich over the edge, the Herodontics following it.
Catch you feathered bastard.
As she and Turmell ran back to the bus, which quickly set off. Shortly afterward, they arrived at the mountain peak, their destination coming into view. The Goodbride Religious Retreat. A series of concrete and glass buildings in a clean, modernist, dwarven style, most unlike the stone brick ruins of the temple of Ode the retreat was built around. A gravel drive pulled up to the green grasses, and a path of mosaic tiles depicting religious iconography led to each of the buildings. And standing to greet them, in front of a line of staff, stood the Goodbrides themselves.
Hello and welcome all. I am Father Goodbride, and these are my two sons.
I'm Jacob Goodbride.
And I'm Kevan Goodbride. The staff here will take your bags through to your rooms and provide maps of our facility.
Here at the Goodbride Religious Retreat, we cater to all faiths and denominations. For us, all are equal and to be treated fairly for the God's glory. First sermon shall be at 11 a.m., conducted by Jacob and I.
Well, hope to see y'all there. Should be great.
As the group was herded to their rooms, the Goodbrides made their way to the father's office.
This is bullcrap. I didn't set up to any sermons today.
You are part of this family, Jacob, and when you are called upon, you will answer.
Hell no. I told you this last week. I got stuff I gotta do.
Daddy, I volunteered to help the sermonizing in Jacob's place.
That is very thoughtful of you, Kevin, but this sermon is Jacob's responsibility, and it is yours to deliver the sermon to the youth group this afternoon.
Ooh, why is it always me stuck with the youths? Listen, I can do that for you. I was just wondering, could I be in charge of the lunch/afternoon tea today? A lot of hungry folk here. We get some drinks, sandwiches, all that.
You and your damn lunches.
Well, at least I'm being responsible and contributing to help this family, Jacob.
You can put on your lunch, Kevin, so long as you see to the youth service at 3.
Whoa, how y'all doing here today?
Hi, Uncle Ray.
Ray, good to see you, but aren't you supposed to be in the Fallbright parish with my daughter?
Jackie? She can handle herself no problem. That little bushfire was as much my doing as was hers, hey?
What are you doing here?
Boy, I'm here to help your father with today's sermon, turning the valve of goodwill and spirituality, as you evidently have more important things to do.
Damn right I do, and I'm gonna go do them right now. Later, masticators.
We won't be having none of that finger pointing in this holy house. 43 ain't too old for a Canaan.
Ray, please. Kevin, could you leave your uncle and I for a private chat?
Can do. Just checking. I can do that lunch then?
Yes, how about the gazebo? Now, get going.
John, mighty fine place you got up here. No wonder you passed the flagship Fallbright on to me. I thought you was downsizing, but you was upscaling.
You saying I tricked my brother-in-law? Of course not. Liffey Retreat just needed guiding hand of the gods, and me as their vessel to impart their good words.
Yay, of course. Telling you, those hot springs ain't gonna monitor themselves.
Oh, no. Those spas are Jacob's responsibility. The shyster. He's probably on his way to them right now.
Listen, I did get your letter, and if you do need me on hand to help with today's sermon, I can offer mine.
Many hands make God's work go quicker. Come this way.
The next building over in the visitor accommodation, Turmell finished unpacking his travel bag and left to find Agnetha, running into her in the hall.
Turmell.
Agnetha.
Hello.
Hi.
This place has a library.
I saw that marked on the map. You heading there or you've already been?
Yeah, went over to see if they might have anything spiritual or magic textbooks to help research this demon, but they didn't have much. I did, however, pick up this book on Arundel megafauna while I was there, looking up that bird, the Herodontics. Turns out, these birds are actually deeply magical creatures and are drawn towards magic sources as much as they might be food.
Huh, really?
And since I have quite a bit of magical energy flowing through me, it kind of explains why that one went and landed next to us. Now, they are native to these mountains, and I did notice quite a few of them flying off in the distance as we made our way up here. Despite their size and apparent danger, they might cause people. They tend to stay away from populated areas, unless there's a magical element to a place, or a food source that draws them in.
I guess that might be an indication that something is going on here. Although this place has held cultural and religious significance for centuries, there's undoubtedly some magic beneath the surface. Worshippers of the Harricks and Menarish faith would make pilgrimages up the stone steps. The road we took up here didn't exist until last year. They mostly paved over the steps that remained.
Yes. It could be that pre-existing magic element that led those giant birds to making their home here in the first place. It could be a catalyst for dark magic like the kind the demon uses. So we'll need to investigate further.
The sermon is in 30 minutes. Will you start your investigation then?
I will. Try and get a reading on the place, see if I can pick up any energies. You best look for your dude in office. I got your private pass, so it should let you into the high-class wing where he's staying.
That writing looks very forged.
But at a glance, it looks legit. Turmell, people don't pay attention to details, especially the small ones. They see the uniform, the coloured all-access pass, not the faces or the signatures. Show people something they expect and you can get away with anything.
Well, I'll hold you to that if this goes badly.
Outside, the youngest Goodbride sibling prepared for his lunch with his best friend and roommate, the reformed demon worshipper, Troy.
I am noticing an unusual higher number of those giant birds flying about the sky today.
Don't mind them. Help me with this here table, would you?
Have you come to a conclusion as to why your father disallows you taking part in the daily summons?
No. Instead, he's got me doing the junior sermon. Like he doesn't trust me. He's treating me like a child.
A child who cares for younger children. Like a babysitter.
Exactly. He won't even let me go in the back maintenance room to do the lights and music.
It does strike me as peculiar that the controls for such things would be confined to such an underground space.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, we'll set the sandwiches here. At least he's letting me put this lunch on. And I got my best buddy to help me with it.
Indeed. I am forever in your debt after your guiding light drew me away from the life of demon worshipping into salvation.
Well, it's all on you, making that change for yourself. And at least you ain't be seeing any more of them demonic apparitions.
Damn it.
Right?
Troy's attention was pulled away from his friend by the sudden appearance of the suit-wearing demon, the one that had been haunting and taunting Agnetha all this time. Troy's eyes widened as he watched the dark figure straighten his tie and wander towards the main building, plumes of dark purple smoke left in his wake.
Isn't that right, Troy?
I am most certainly hoping so.
Out the back of the retreat, a little way down the mountain were a series of naturally occurring hot springs, since landscaped and accessible by steps. Jacob Goodbride, dressed in a pair of swimming trunks and sunglasses, with a bundle of magazines in one hand and a fresh cigar in the other, had made his way down and settled into the warm water. He did have important things to do today, and he had made sure to notify his father the week before. A mental health care day in solitude to unwind from the crowds that visited the retreat. How could he be expected to provide spiritual care when he couldn't give any to himself?
Hello there.
Oh, hey.
Got room for one more?
Yeah, take a seat. Plenty of spot to go around.
Jacob watched the rugged man, body scarred from decades of battles, disrobe and wade into the same spring he sat in.
He's been away 7 months, travelling across Drizzafinia.
Right.
Oh, fighting, ambushes. It's one thing I've really missed, is this hidden gem, up here in Mount Liffey.
Steady on.
The Harrington Spa. Breathe it in. Try something new.
Right. Yeah, I just remembered I've got a sermon in 30 minutes.
Oh, 30 minutes, eh?
Yeah. Look, you take this cigar. Do you smoke?
Oh, from time to time I do, yeah.
You shouldn't, but whatever. Look at me, religious leader. Of course I'm a hypocrite. You enjoy yourself.
Operation Solo Spa. Big success.
Following Agnetha's steps, Turmell had accessed the normally shut-off luxury wing of the retreat just by flashing his pass. He'd entered the suite of the high-ranking politician and was shown over to him by his advisor, laying back on a chase lounge overlooking the view of the mountains, looking very unwell.
Good morning, sir. My name is Turmell Izzard Robertson. I'm a junior member of the Progressives. How are you today?
Have you come to take me from this place?
Oh, no, nothing like that. If you have a moment, there was something I needed your help with. I came to ask for it.
The sprites haven't left me. They won't stop talking at me.
Sir, are you okay?
He's not been right since yesterday. I don't know what's happened to him. A loss of appetite and he's been delirious.
What happened yesterday?
Nothing, apart from the morning sermon.
Agnetha's words about the mysterious illness running through his mind, he excused himself and went to find her. Agnetha had made her way to the cathedral for that morning's sermon. The crowd filled the room, nearly all of them on their feet, cheering and clapping as Father Goodbride approached the brass podium to begin his sermon, his white robes aglow in the bright stage lights. His son, Jacob, looking shabby and half put together, rushed to the stage behind him, face contorted to a half smile as he unenthusiastically danced to the music.
My son, everybody, Jacob Goodbride.
Pleasure to be here. This is gonna be a great show for you all here. Yeah!
Take a seat, my friends, and close your eyes, open your minds, your hearts, your souls. Breathe it in. Let in your gods. She, he, or they. Your Menarish spirits, your Ottoman deities, your Khrushchev sprites, your Garameshi masters. Whoever you find solace in, let them in and cleanse your spirits.
Agnetha shrugged and followed the father's commands, as did the rest of the congregation. She had years of knowledge and experience when it came to dealing with the otherworldly. Only a few weeks ago she found herself pulled into the spirit plane, so she knew what it should feel like. The feeling that overcame her was unlike any spiritual experience she had before. Her head went sore and cloudy, her vision blurred. She suddenly felt thirsty, queasy, and shaky. She tried to stand but wobbled and fell back onto her seat, the people before her blurring into one. The father and son on stage shone brightly, appearing to her something like spirits should. Agnetha leaned forward and gripped the back of the chair in front of her, staring wide-eyed at the wall and trying to focus. The feeling lessened. The crowd seemed shocked, many overjoyed, as they recovered from what appeared to be some spiritual experience. Agnetha had felt something like this before, but it wasn't from the great beyond.
Oh, I think they gassed us.
Oh, like they poisoned you?
I reckon so. It smelled like it. Felt like it too. You ever had a gas leak?
A few times, yeah, like left a lamp over a stove on by mistake. It's a horrible smell. Makes me feel sick to my gut and makes my head pound. It's awful.
Ugh, it can be. Although, in my experience, some people go for that kind of thing.
You mean you, I guess.
It was a rough week, and not entirely intentional.
Hey, I got to see the politician, and he's bedridden in his room. I reckon he was poisoned too, and if he gets worse, it would cause chaos.
We need to try and get access to the maintenance rooms of this place. If there is gas, they might be pumping it into the cathedral somehow.
But how do we even know it was intentional?
We won't until we investigate. But I have to say, based on evidence provided, let the Lord in, yada yada, being told to breathe in the spirits, and then getting gassed, has got to be related.
They soon found a door marked maintenance, and checking the coast was clear, entered to the darkened staircase leading down under the main structure. Gas lamps lit their way as they spotted pipes running along the walls and ceiling.
This has got to be a part of the underfloor heating we were reading about.
So much gas power in this place. Where do they get it? I didn't see any gasometers about. There's no way they're pumping this stuff from Varadoon to Mount Liffey.
Could they be sourcing it from here?
How do you mean?
I think I heard once that Liffey and the surrounding mountains were alive with geothermal energy. That's heat coming from underground. There's hot springs nearby. This place did take years and years to build, and they spent all that time not just building this place, but connecting and using all these pipes. Armin technology sourcing the gas to fuel this place from below ground.
You're right. Look, these pipes say as such. We'll follow these maintenance tunnels a bit further. What's this? A valve? Directly under the cathedral. There's signs I'm getting of recent use. Gas, directly from underground, used to poison the congregations. But why?
Maybe the answer is at the end of the spirit trail.
What? Oh, of course. Follow the trail, find the culprit. Spirit magic a go. Aha! This way, Turmell.
Following the trail of magic through the maintenance corridor, they were led to stairs heading back up to a door through which they entered, finding themselves in what turned out to be Father Gordon Goodbride's office.
Where are we now?
The hell are you playing at, Ray? We've got 6 people in the infirmary.
I turned that gas valve as much as you said, but maybe you need better lights down there. My eyesight's already bad enough. I ain't wearing these spectacles for show.
You were the one at the controls, so it stands to reason you overdosed them.
You said you've been having problems for months now, so it's hardly my fault.
Listen, can you get me those compensation forms for me? Please? They should be in the second drawer of my desk.
Oh, sure. Whoa! What in the goddamn?
Looks like we found the source of the spirit trail.
What's happening in here?
Agnetha Deveaux, investigating and all that gaff. Father Goodbride, you've been gassing your followers.
Uncle Ray and Father Goodbride stared at one another, before Ray hastily fled outside the door. The father watched him leave in disbelief, before shaking his head and walking across the room to take a seat behind his desk.
I know who you are, so what seems to be the issue here?
Ever since this place opened, there's been scant reports of people coming away feeling ill. The last few weeks, 2 recent visitors died shortly after experiencing a similar kind of sickness. After I took part in your morning sermon, I suspected you were pumping gas into the hall to give your congregation some kind of high. Now I've proved it.
So?
So
what?
So you've been poisoning people all year, that's what.
And we have the proof of the valves and the pipes below the hall, feeding directly into the room.
Those pipes are connected to gas lamps, and a check would confirm that.
Then how does the demon come into it, yeah? What happened? Did he trick you and manipulate you into poisoning those people? Into denying what you did?
Don't you dare accuse me of conspiring with demons, missy!
Oh, that's weird. Your lot usually blame your indiscretions on demons.
God damn it! So what? We gas people! The locals have been doing it for centuries. You think the pilgrims are really communing with the beyond? Religious experiences, my ass. Psychotropic hallucinations. And are you trying to say I'm a criminal?
And people used to rub cow dung on their faces to cure ailments. Now you have to go to some underground clubs in Mourne for that kind of thing. What was once legal does not make it legal now. So yeah, I'm calling you a criminal.
I may not be a perfect man, but compared to my peers, as a husband, I was loyal. As a father, I was fair. I may have some money resting in my account, and I might have knocked a few people over with a horse, but the experience I am giving my flock is one that has been used for centuries, and you think you can break into my office and threaten me? You've got another thing coming.
So you don't even care?
Nah, of course he don't care. People like him don't care how many people they hurt so long as the money's being made, luxuries being bought, private boats being sailed. But what happens when those people get told about it? When there's undeniable proof?
Agnetha and Father Goodbride stared each other down before she darted for the door back down to maintenance, the father struggling to get up from his desk and chase after her. Running back to the valve, she turned it on before ascending a set of stairs to exit out another door onto the cathedral stage. Many dozens of worshippers still in attendance.
Oi oi, bonjour and hello. I'm Agnetha Deveaux, an investigator checking out a number of illnesses stemming from attendees at this retreat. I am sorry to say that everything the Goodbrides have told you today is a lie. They are not giving you religious experiences.
Give me that microphone!
Father Goodbride is a con man. He's trying to silence me. He's poisoning you from gas from the mountains. He's making you sick for his own profit. He's killing people in the process.
Don't listen to her. This woman is touched by demons.
I would well, maybe once, no. You're the demon funneler. Breathe it in. Remember those words? Can you smell that? The natural gas is making you all delirious. 6 people have been sent to the nurse thanks to this morning service. Now, I think it's best you all make your way for the exits, because I don't want to poison you all breathing this stuff in, something the good father was more than willing to do.
I actually have a lot of experience with highs in religious experiences, and I can tell you, as someone who trekked with the indigenous Mengarda tribes for 3 months, I know the difference, and this is definitely a religious experience.
So, you like smelling your own farts?
By the way, if this gas is natural, it's got to be good for you.
My fist is natural. How about I ram that into your face?
Ray, get the boys.
I don't know where Jacob's at, but Kevan is outside.
Doing what?
Troy, stop looking at those damn birds. They're big birds. They're not getting closer. Hello, I'm Kevan Goodbride. How can I help you today? May I interest you and your friends in some sandwiches? Some tea?
Well, your father's been poisoning the congregation. I brought them all out here to get away from the gas.
What? Don't be ridiculous. How's he poisoning them?
He's been funneling natural gas from under the mountains into the cathedral.
Kevan, the birds.
Troy, will you be quiet about them?
Lured by the food set out by Kevan and Troy, the large Herodontics bird swept down upon the religious retreat, the congregation fleeing. Within the cathedral, the Herodontics smashed through the stained glass, tearing at the drapes, giant bird mess hurtling from above. They fled to the outside, gasping for breath, as Father Gordon Goodbride and Ray stared back at the feathery devastation within.
Damn, that's a lot of birds.
Nature is healing and reclaiming the lands once their own. These birds will find sanctuary in these hallowed halls and find peace with their taking environment returned. We will rebuild in wake of this destruction.
What in the goddamn are you talking about?
Damn, Kevan, your butler's high as
Agnetha felt a cold hand on her shoulder as her vision blurred into darkness. Before her stood the demon, looking over the destruction before glaring back her way.
Your meddling has ruined my revenue stream.
I didn't have anything to do with the birds.
The birds were my doing. My magic summoned the creatures in an attempt to destroy what evidence you uncovered. As you said, they are drawn to magic influence. It is why they lived up here for so long, and why you encountered that one on your way to this place. Your failure to die on today's sermon will only mean your demise shall be more painful in future.
Ooh, how very scary. Answer me this. What use has a spirit for material wealth?
Trust me once more, and you will be able to answer that question yourself.
You already threatened me once, mate.
Scowling, the demon vanished in a puff of smoke, and Agnetha returned to the grassy yard overseeing the destruction. Rolling up her sleeves, she strode back into the building.
Right, now that's all sorted. Come along with me, Turmell. We've got some sick people to see too.
The Misadventures of Agnetha Deveaux, starring
Liz Corrick as Agnetha.
Royce Pentaghast as Turmell.
Joshua Law as the father.
Jake T. Hodgetts as Jacob Goodbride.
Dominic Robinson as Kevan.
Mike Keane as Uncle Ray.
Jordan Abrams as Troy. Shervine Thompson as Vivienne. Lamar Lawrence as the advisor. Keith Wiggins as the politician.
and Michael Mengarda as the narrator. Theme music composed by Matt Harris. Additional music by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com. Produced by City Park Radio 2022.